Your life is about to get so good.
Let's dive in. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. It is the last Monday of the month, which means we are in it for our membership Q&A episode. This is my favorite episode of the month because I get to answer all of your questions that have been submitted to me through the month. So these are all questions that came in through the month of July, through Instagram, email. I think that's basically it. So if you are new here, welcome. This podcast covers everything memberships. Doesn't matter if you are beginner, just starting your membership, thinking about starting your membership, or if you are scaling, you have a membership that is already making $50,000, $80,000, $100,000 a month, and you're trying to figure out how to scale this thing, how to keep it consistent, how to make sure it is here for the long run. This podcast is for you. And I am so excited you're here. If you are actively trying to grow your membership, make sure that you follow the podcast or subscribe to my channel if you are watching this on YouTube. We've got everything you need here. And if you have questions and you would like to submit a question for our monthly Q&A episode that we do on the last Monday of every month, send me a quick email at support@PaigeVandy, or you can come find me on Instagram at the Membership Muse and just send me a DM. I save all of the questions that I get in and answer them on this podcast. And if I don't answer yours, there's a good chance I will answer it in future episodes because I always make sure I go back to our saved ones that we haven't done. All right, this episode is going to be a good one. Today, we are covering questions on churn, questions on selling to an Instagram audience, why Instagram audience just isn't converting, how to stop burning out when you are trying to sell your membership and build your membership, scale your membership, how to be the go-to name in your industry and not just another membership. I think this is going to be a good one, so let's get into it. And before we get into it, I actually have two new announcements for you. Number one is, do you guys remember I've been talking about how I am building out a new freebie, something that is not just like a freebie that takes up space in your email that like gives you a little bit and then you're just like, hey, that was just a waste of my time. It didn't actually give me any answers. It just sold me into this program. Well, I have been creating a freebie that I know is something that will actually help you grow your membership, actually help you sign members. I wanted to make something that would actually get you results, something that was not going to be a waste of your time, and something that I knew if you used it, you would be able to sign new members right away. And it is finally here. So if you pause this episode, go look at the show notes or the description if you're on YouTube, you will see it. It is the first link in there. It is called the Get Your Next 100 Members Guide. And in this guide, I break down one of my favorite behind the scenes sales strategies for memberships. So why I love this is you don't necessarily have to be open to the public. If you have an open and closed membership, you could be closed and still use this strategy. If you are really just trying to grow and establish and you don't want to be constantly selling to your social media, you want to really use that for nurturing and you don't just want to have that sales energy all the time, this strategy is perfect for you. I just had a client use this strategy and she signed 101 members in 90 minutes using the strategy inside. So I'm so excited that I finally have it done. That was a big little task that I had going on for a little bit behind the scenes. It was taking up a lot of work. And so it is finally here for you. Again, pause this, go to the link in the show notes, grab it, and actually use it. It is a guide and a workbook. So you can print it off or you can just like upload it into something like Canva or Adobe or like one of those places that you can download so that you can actually write in it. But it is a training and a workbook. So you're actually going to be getting momentum, seeing results as soon as you start working through it. Don't skip anything. Go through all of it because I guarantee you, if you do, it is something that is going to help you sign members. The second announcement is $1 Million Memberships Club, my membership for membership founders, helping membership founders go from starting, scaling, growing, all the way to a multiple 6 and 7 figure membership. Everything that you need to grow your membership, to learn about memberships, to implement into your own membership, to have something that is really sustainable and building a membership that is truly built on concrete, something that's going to last, something that's sustainable. That is what $1 Million Memberships Club is for. We have a community in there. We have monthly calls, soon to be weekly Monday calls, so that you can really move the needle every single week and get support in your own membership. We have membership focused challenges that really help you dial in specific areas of your membership and like really focus in on those so you can kind of tick things off as you are building. Things like consistent sales, membership foundations, setting up automations, everything like that. We have an entire course vault, which has a loaded template vault inside of it. Everything's plug and play. We have plug and play onboarding sequences, plug and play cancellation sequences, plug and play sales events, sales event blueprints, everything that you possibly could need for your membership is inside of $1 Million Memberships Club. I'm actively in there every single week. I lead the calls, so you have access to me as well for all of your membership questions. And in September, we are kicking off the fall with an 8-week Get Your Next 100 Members Challenge. So this is 8 weeks to really go hard as a group to sign your next wave of members. It doesn't have to be 100 members if you're newer, but if you're more established, it can be. You pick your own number of how many members that you want to sign, and every single week, we are going hard together to make sure that you are seeing momentum inside of your business to make it happen. Everybody inside of there is going to hold at least one sales event, even if it's a behind the scenes sales event. And then every single day, you're going to get a new social media post idea that's going to help you establish your membership to your social media audience. And the best thing about this is these are not necessarily sales posts. These are posts that you can put onto your social media that just establishes your membership. People start to know about it. People start to really be curious about it. And then people start to really want in. And this is actually where so many people drop the ball, is because we're so busy trying to get members or update things inside of our community that we just don't know what to say on social media. We forget what to say. And then by the time we know that we have to get some members in and sell, we haven't talked about our membership in 8 weeks and nobody even knows about it. So we hear crickets. So it's really important that even if you're not in a sales period, you're still posting about your membership, something about it every single day. And so every day of the challenge, you're going to get a new idea. That way you don't even have to think about it. You can just open up your app, look at what the post is that day, and apply it to your own membership, post it on your audience. Boom. You're doing the work to get your membership established while you're doing the work behind the scenes. So even though this challenge starts in September, we opened the doors a month early so that you can get in and do some of the cleanup work, the housekeeping work that you might have to do inside of your own membership, so that in September you can really hit the ground running. Whether that is maybe you need to update your membership foundations, update your automations, maybe you really need to get visible online and really learn how to grow your audience on social media so that you have people to sell to. You have a month to do that before our September challenge starts. So if you are wanting to grow your membership this year, whether you are brand new or whether you are already making epic money inside of your membership and you really want to scale it, $1 Million Memberships Club is for you, and it is open right now. Remember, we're an open and close membership, so we're going to be closing at the end of August. I really encourage you to get in right away so that you can really look at where you need to do your housekeeping, get it all done, and then September, you are ready to go. So the link for that is also in the show notes and the description. Pause this, go get your membership. We have monthly options and annual options. We have a really good discount going for annual right now with some extra bonuses as well, including a private kickoff call with me. So again, go to the link in the show notes, $1 Million Memberships Club, go sign up for your membership. You can immediately go do your onboarding and see where you personally need to start doing your membership housekeeping. And then I will see you inside the community. Okay, let's get into the episode. All right, so our first question is, I have an audience, but they are not converting into members. Is this a visibility problem or a sales problem? So potentially this could be a both problem. If your audience is there and they are engaged, so you have an audience, you have no problem getting new followers, getting people onto your social media page or wherever you're growing your audience, you don't have a problem there, and your people are engaged with you, meaning they're liking your stuff, maybe they're DMing you, maybe they're replying to your polls, they're engaged, they opt into freebies that you put out, they're engaged, right? If that is the case, then it is likely going to be a sales problem. But if you have social media followers, like for example, I work with a ton of people who have a pretty objectively high social media account, right? I'm talking like 500K, 600K, that kind of thing. And they have a dead audience. Their people are not communicating with them. And where this usually happens is maybe an account just blew up, say in like 2020 when things were insane, or maybe they started in 2018 where it was still like there wasn't a ton of accounts out there, at least doing online programming work, things like that. That's usually the case. And then they have these big accounts, but their audience has just been so dead for so many years. So they're getting really low views. No one's engaging with their stuff. Even if they were to sell their membership, it would almost feel like they have an audience of 1,000 people because no one is engaging. So I want to really just clarify that first, because you can have a big audience and it actually not be an engaged audience. So the number actually doesn't matter. But let's just say, for the sake of simplicity with this question, that you have a big audience and they are engaged. Sales don't just happen because you have an audience. Sales happen because you are intentional about making sales happen. So you're having consistent sales events, and not just consistent sales events, but consistent sales events that are ran the right way to prime up the people who are in the sales events, like lickety split speed kind of situation. That's why for me, I teach what I call incubator events. This is like my coined term. I just came up with it because this is how I do my sales events. Is I make them in a way that somebody could be a cold person. Like they literally just came to my social media page a day ago and they signed up for my sales event. The way I structure my sales events and like the things that I put inside of my sales events, the stories I put in there, the examples I put in there, like all of just kind of those little details that I put inside of my sales events, it can take that cold lead and warm them up to a hot lead in a day. It also depends on how you do your sales events. But the only way to predictably sign members, even if you have a really big social media audience, even if they're engaged, is to have consistent sales events. If you go and you download that free guide that I talked about in the beginning of this episode, the Get Your Next 100 Members free guide, I walk you through an example incubator event. You want to be holding these incubator events, like even these mini ones, like how I go through on the guide, you want to be holding these at least once a month. Okay, especially if you're still trying to grow. If you have a membership that's like really established, it's thriving, you can get away with once a quarter, but you really, like if you are establishing your membership, you're really trying to grow, you should be having these consistent sales events at least one time a month. And the thing is with these two, they don't have to be happening public facing. Like you don't have to be front facing this. You don't have to be selling to your audience. This all really can happen behind the scenes. So I recommend for this one, anyone listening who wants this strategy, who wants to have a way of getting members in consistently, go download this guide. I went really, really deep on it. I didn't go wide and give you like all of these different strategies because I have about 12 that I use. I gave you one really, really good one. I had a client who literally just signed 101 members using this one. In 90 minutes, I went really, really deep on this one strategy so that you have at least something that you can use consistently and know that it's going to work. So again, that is in the show notes description. Next question is, how do I know if my churn is normal or if I actually have a retention problem? So this one's pretty easy to answer. First thing is anything under 10% churn is normal. Or if you want to kind of flip it and look at retention rate, anything over 90% retention rate is considered normal. That's considered average. This is important to know because if you are trying to establish your membership and you're growing, but then you have people leave, if you don't actually know these numbers, you might automatically think, oh, fuck, my membership sucks. People are leaving. Oh my God, should I even be doing this? And like you start to spiral, right? And you start to focus on the people that are leaving rather than the people who are staying inside of your membership. But every membership has churn. That's normal. It doesn't have to mean anything about your membership. Now, if it's 15%, 20%, 30%, then we might have a problem and it might be about your membership. But under 10%, that's actually considered normal. So just know that. Inside of $1 Million Memberships Club and working with my clients, I kind of hold a higher standard there because the purpose of $1 Million Memberships Club is to build a elite membership, right? Above industry standard. We want to be the household membership for our industry. That is kind of the standard that we hold at $1 Million Memberships Club. So we aim for 3%. 3% churn is elite. That's what we're aiming for. And that's pretty tricky to do, but also it is not impossible to do. Not when you really understand building a world and really understand sticky community and retention, which if you're in $1 Million Memberships Club or you're coming into it because we are open right now, you will understand that because you'll have the blueprints for everything, the step-by-step, the checklist, all the things you have to have in there to master these, you will get. Question number 3 is I'm doing all the content, all the calls, all the DMs, and I'm exhausted. How do I build this without burning out? Okay, 2 things. If you are just starting your membership and I mean just really in that first year and a half, and you're really understanding like what people are liking for content and what people are using and what people are not using, like all of those things, you're going to be putting in a lot of work. Like that is just the one thing. I don't know who came up with this where they're like, just have a membership as your passive income and people will just funnel into your membership and everything will be great. Like, that's not how it works. Memberships require you to be extremely intentional. Once they are built, once you have a really good rhythm going, once like you really understand what works for your membership, what doesn't work for your membership, which honestly can take up to 2 years, that's when you can start kind of like really being like, okay, great. Now we can just put these systems in place. Now we have a little bit more of a cadence. Now this is just like automated, easy, boom. That's when it really feels easy. So memberships are like a time investment in the beginning. I will say that. Memberships are a huge time investment in the beginning, but they are also that thing that 5 years down the road, you will be having days where you're not even working and it's just working for you. And it's like, those are the majority of your days, which is also something important to know, because if you feel like you're putting in so much work with your membership right now and it's not paying you, don't give up because you're not seeing that immediate payment like you would with like one-on-one. Like, this is what I see people do. I'm kind of getting a little sidetracked here right now, but this is important. So I feel like I should share it with you. I see this happen is that people will jump back to like just doing a high ticket mastermind or one-on-one because their membership isn't working, and they just kind of trash the membership and just think it's not working. And really what you're doing by doing that, you are just scheduling out your calendar years and years and years in advance now, because you can make more money with one-on-one. It's a good thing to do, to take extra one-on-ones if you're still establishing your membership, but don't give up on the membership, because eventually that will be the thing that starts to pay you more than the one-on-ones and you will be working less. So time investment, less money in the beginning, way less time spent working, way more money after a certain amount of time. Stick with the membership, trust me. That being said, going back to your question. So if you're in those like newer stages, it is going to be a little bit of a grind. If though you are kind of past that and you're just still feeling like you're always plugged in and it feels really hard and it feels really resistant, that kind of triggers to me that you just don't have the right systems in place. So systems that you need are going to kind of go back to the main leaks, right? So like visibility, you need to make sure that you have somewhere where people know who you are and know what your membership is, right? If you are like really trying to grow this membership and you have 1,000 followers and they're not even engaged and you've had them for 5 years and you're not constantly and you're not growing your audience to get new people, it's going to be a fucking grind because you just don't have the eyes. Your membership could be great, but you don't have the eyes there. So you need to make sure that you have visibility in place. And then on top of visibility, so that you're not always in the DMs and trying to book calls and all of these things, you need to have the proper automations in place. You need to have something in place where you are constantly getting in front of new people. You're constantly bringing people to your world via social media, but then you're getting them off of social media and into your actual world via your email list. And then your email list is warming them up and getting them ready to buy through your back-end automated sales funnels, all the things. So you need to have a system in place that takes people from brand new, just learning about you, to ready to buy, becoming a member. Memberships take automations. Likely you are not doing sales calls, so you better get really fucking good at making sure that you can warm somebody up, nurture somebody, really have someone feel that pull to join your membership without even having to talk to them or speak to them. Okay, and that's going to happen through automations all the way from social media, through your email list, to your membership. Next one, going back to what we've talked about a little bit in the other questions, is conversion. You need to make sure that you're not just trying to sell through social media, because you just will never grow the way you want to grow if you are just depending on social media. That might have worked in 2018, 2020 when like things were really booming and people were getting online, but there's so much out there right now and your stuff is being seen less and less. The way that the algorithms work with social media, your stuff is not seen nearly as much as it used to be. So it's really, really important that you know how to hold consistent sales events, that you know how to convert people off of social media. So getting people to your email list, again, it's really important. Getting people to an email list, getting people to a text list, like these things are important. Just getting them off of social media and into your world is step one, very important. And then throughout the year behind the scenes, you need to be holding sales events. And when you have these two systems working together, where you are growing your audience, you're constantly putting effort into creating content, into being seen by the right people, those people see you And then you have automations to get them off of social media onto your email list without you doing a single thing. All you did was create the content. And then you hold consistent sales events that really get filled through your email list. All you're doing is sending a few emails telling them my next sales event, you're not saying sales event, but my next event is this month on the 15th. And then people funnel into that, and then you get them into your membership. That's what really needs to be happening. You don't need to be, and you shouldn't be in the DMs trying to find people. You shouldn't be scounging Instagram or TikTok trying to find accounts, trying to find ideal members. Like, that is some 2017 shit, my friend. We don't want to be doing that. And if you have a membership, you don't want to be getting on sales calls unless, of course, you have a high ticket membership that really requires it, or a medium ticket or a mid-ticket membership. Mid-ticket, high-ticket membership that requires it, okay, sure. But if you, like, from what I'm kind of understanding from this question, if you are really operating at this or wanting to operate at this level, you need to just have your automations in place. It's very important. So again, I am going to plug $1 Million Memberships Club here right now because we have a challenge called Membership Foundations 101. And we really take you through these exact systems and these exact automations that you need to have in place. And like what we just talked about here, these are just some baseline things that you want to have in place so that you can really focus on what matters, which is creating the content to be visible, and then showing up for your membership, right? Really nurturing and helping and being there for your members and what your membership is all about. That's what matters. Next question is, I want to be the go-to name in my industry, not just another membership. Where do I even start with that? And I love this question because I am on my Muse-Maxxing shit. And you guys are, I know that sounds so cringe to say Muse-Maxxing because the maxing thing is like all over the place right now. But man, when I learned what maxing meant, it took me a little bit because I'm 34. But when I heard that, and I'm like already all about Muse everything, when I heard that, you fucking better believe I ran with that. Muse-Maxxing, okay, this is what you have to do. Let me explain what I mean by this. So Muse-Maxxing, how I'm taking this, I'm coining this. I don't care. I know the maxing thing has been coined, but like I'm coining the Muse-Maxxing. Okay? That is mine. Muse-Maxxing, how I see this is so for what you do, for what your membership does, for whatever industry you're in, you need to be the muse of that thing. So like for me, my Instagram name kind of says it all. The membership muse. For me, I am showing up and like really holding myself to the highest standard when it comes to membership stuff. Because like not only do I have a membership that teaches people how to start, grow, scale memberships, but then I am taking this so seriously where this is the only thing that I really do. Everything that I do on my social media either has to do with memberships or like habits and routines, because that for me goes really hand in hand. If I'm like not going to the gym, if I'm not drinking my water, if I'm not waking up at 5 a.m. to do my content, I'm not showing up for my business, which is membership. So like if you look at my Instagram at the Membership Muse, everything is about membership strategy, or like habits that I have, right? Like 7-figure habits. So that's like the one thing. The second thing is I have a dedicated day on Fridays. I study memberships. I want to be the best resource in this industry for memberships, and not just like someone who learns a bunch and then kind of like stops learning. I want to constantly be learning because the industry is constantly changing. So for me, I have a self-study day where I am going and I'm looking at industry trends, and I'm even getting my AI to interview me on things that I should probably know. And if I don't know it, I flag that of things that I need to get better at and know and study. I'm constantly listening to books, and not only listening to books on like memberships, because there's really not that many, but I'm listening to books on like leadership and community building and everything that actually is part of a membership. And all those things that actually do have to do with memberships, right? Community building, human psychology, like all of those things do have to do with memberships and building a really good membership. And so everything I'm constantly studying, and that might sound a little excessive, but I truly feel like in order to be the best at something, you do have to be a little excessive. And so for me, that's what Muse-Maxxing is taking that thing that you want to be known for and being the best at it, being somebody that if someone looked at your Instagram page, they would immediately feel inspired and want to follow you because they want to live in the way that you're living. And also, here's another thing with that is when it comes to Muse-Maxxing, you don't want to be like, I am going to be the muse, or I am going to be the best at that. Like, you have to show up as if you are already the best at it. It doesn't mean that you have to go and tell people like, I'm the number one at this thing when you know that you're not. That's not what that means. But like, your energy, you have to internally be like, I am the person for this thing. I am the go-to for this thing. And then you have to reverse engineer and make sure that you actually are the best at that thing. So whatever deficiencies you have, lack in competencies you have for that thing, you need to get your competency up and you need to get that thing. Okay. If you are constantly saying that someday I'll be the best, then you're going to show up as that. You're not ever going to present that energy that you are the best at that thing, that you are the muse of that thing. Okay. So that's just kind of like a little mindset tip. And again, you don't have to straight out lie to people and tell them that you're the best at that thing unless you actually are someone who is the fucking best at the thing you do. But like, if you're kind of, that's just a goal, but you know that you're just not there yet, that is the energy that you want to be presenting with. And like, let's just say, for instance, you have a membership for moms who want to get healthy. You need to get on social media being that mom who is working her ass off, being the healthiest mom. You don't want to just say that you're this membership for moms who want to be healthy and then you physically are not healthy looking, or you mentally are not taking care of yourself, or you are not showing up for yourself. You're just kind of like living this double life. Like, that's gross. You don't want to do that. So whatever you want to be the best in, whatever you want your membership to be the household name for, you need to set that standard for your membership. And you need to set that standard for yourself. Your audience needs to see you really walking that walk. And you need to make sure that you do everything in your power to make your membership the best in that space. That's going to take some self-work. That is going to take some personal development. That's probably going to take some learning. It's a never-ending process to continue to be the best. I'm going to wrap up this episode right now. Again, if you are ready to absolutely scale, grow, finish this year off so fucking proud of where you are with your membership, come join us inside $1 Million Memberships Club. Again, we are not an always open membership. We're going to be closing at the end of August because September 1st, we are going fucking hard together in the Get Your Next 100 Members 8-week challenge. But if you are listening to this and it's still end of July or early August, I really encourage you to get in now so that, again, you can go through our orientation, go through our membership foundations, really make sure that you can do some cleanup on your membership the way it is right now, and just give yourself some time to really immerse yourself in our community, get some things set up inside of your membership, hop on a couple calls that we have in August, and then September, we are hitting the ground running, and I cannot freaking wait. And if you have any questions on $1 Million Memberships Club, if it's right for you or any other questions come up, feel free to message me at the Membership Muse on Instagram. Other than that, I hope this was helpful for you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.